Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome once again to the Analytical Cluster Tube, or in other words, if I can see it, I can rate it. And this is our first clan war after the betrayal we suffered in our previous one. I told you about it, and this penguin guy who got into a clan made us face a tougher enemy clan, than the one we should have been facing. And immediately after the war started, he left the clan, telling us, well, now you're going to lose one. So we were angry, and we actually established some new rules. Everyone in our clan has to use his two attacks during clan wars. And if he doesn't, and he doesn't have some kind of explanation for it, he is kicked out of the clan immediately. So no excuses there. I mean, you can, for example, you may have been traveling somewhere and you couldn't launch the attack. You may have had some issue with your cell phone. That's acceptable. But unless you've got some kind of reason like that, you are kicked out of the clan. And this is the attack I received, and I got 3 stars. And this is actually, I think, the first attack I received which used all dragons. And I hadn't seen any of it before. And I was quite angry, I have to say, when I saw the review of this. And because you're spending so much money in your walls, you are trying to get a tough village to get with wall breakers, with giants. You try to place your trap everywhere nicely such that the attack routes are well covered. And then you find something like this. Well, they basically throw dragons 2 at you using rage spells. And as I said, the first reaction from me was getting angry. But the second one is that I tried to be a constructive guy. And by that I mean that I wanted to learn something from this. So, how does this work and can I do this? I decided that with Dragons level 1, and this wasn't worth it. And then I actually don't use it. But by the time I got level 2 Dragons, I will use this a lot. And this is, in fact, my new standard attack during Clan Wars. The issue with attacking with all level 2 dragons is that it's very, very expensive. It depends on the level of your rage spells, but just the dragons cost you 300,000 elixir. So it usually isn't worth it in terms of what you win versus what your armies cost you. But if you want to give your twin 3 stars, it's actually, well, I think the best attack you can do. So it wasn't the case yet here. I only had level 1 dragons. So I tend to use a mixture of ground and air attack. As you can see there, I like to use lightning spells to take out air defenses rather than keeping healing spells. I find that usually if you place your troops well, you're going to get 2 stars always. But the 3 stars is what gives you headaches. So I find that using those lightning spells early on gives you a better chance to get the 3 star than keeping the healing spells. I mean, it's just an opinion. It probably depends on the way you attack, the kind of units you like to use, and so on. But for me, it works better. So I use it many, many times. Even now that I tend to use all dragons, sometimes I use 3 lightning spells instead of 3 rage spells, which are cheaper to make, by the way. But when you are expending so much more elixir, it doesn't really matter that you take one or the other. So, anyway, I made a mistake in this attack. You may have noticed if you have seen my previous Clan War videos, because with this kind of army, I only take 3 healers, not 4. And actually, here I made a mistake. I might try to tell you something like I analyzed the village and I decided it was worth to have one more healer and a little bit of less power attack or something like that, but it's simply a mistake. I mean, I think I was keeping it for someone who had asked for it, but then he didn't use his attack or something like that. And I basically, when I started the attack, I was throwing my units, and I tend to throw the healers right after we've taken out the defenses. And after that, from the three ones, I realized that I had another one, so I used it afterwards. But the village was waking up, so no big deal about that mistake. And now the second attack, as you know, always versus a harder village, harder opponent. This was actually the third best in the team, and I got 2 stars. And I got very angry because when I saw this kind of layout, I think, well, this is going to be an easy attack because I love, simply love this kind of wall placements. It makes very easy to get to the middle. But this guy, even though he had an awful layout of the walls, I mean, I don't really like any of how he plays them. He was kind of smart because the traps were really well placed. So I lost loads of giants in those first defenses. And you've already seen the first spring trap, and there's another one there. Yeah, you've seen it. So basically, they were blown out through the air very soon, and that costed me the third star. I couldn't get it because well, I lost so many giants so early in the attack. I also was using more dragons than I used to because basically I was testing them out. I didn't really know yet what are their well their handicaps and the things they're best at. So I was kind of just trying because this war was already won by the time I launched this attack. So it was no big deal how many stars I got, and I decided to try a couple things. Some worked, some didn't, and I discovered that you cannot leave outer air defenses if you mean to take a third star because they are going to crush your dragons so fast that you ain't gonna be able even to notice it. So I've got that wizard there who's trying to stay alive, covered by the healers, but he ain't gonna last long. Right after the dragons die, he's gonna die too. And I got 2 stars. Well, we got another win. We were able to recover from the betrayal we had suffered and our first loss. And I hope you like this war. Please like the video, subscribe, and I hope to see you soon, guys. Here again. Bye bye.